You're watching live at Spectrum. Tonight, Southern Solstice and Philip Beggs. Please welcome your host, Brett Glover.
Sorry. Brett Glover here for Live at Spectrum. Great to see you tonight for another episode of a Gippsland music show made in Gippsland, supporting Gippsland musicians. We've got a great lineup for you tonight, as always, and we are warming you up in the middle of winter. Joining me as usual, my very special friend on the microphone. Please welcome Trent McCurdy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very excited about tonight's show, Brett. There is so much happening.
Absolutely is. We've got a full live band with Southern Solstice joining us, a bit of Australian hip-hop made right here in Gippsland for you tonight. So let's get them all G'd up, audience. We've got a great audience here tonight, so give yourselves a clap. You're doing a wonderful job so far. Some great stories coming up as well, but our producer's son, Mr. Brett Tippett, his son Micah actually gave me a bit of a gift before we came on air tonight. He gave me a little special card and he wrote something on it with some instructions, and he said I had to say it on air. So if I could maybe just to prove that, I don't know if this does prove that I didn't do it actually, because the handwriting's remarkably similar. But that's the instructions I've been given. So when the producer's son tells you to do something, then you do it. So here we go. Brett Glover, yeah. That's it, I know. It's just Brett Glover with, he called the jar in the brackets the boo-boo brackets.
Oh, the JA, I think that means jackass.
Oh, is that right? Yes, fair enough. That's a very good description, I think, of what's going on. And some great news during the week, Trent. We've got friends from Channel 31 with another extension. Yeah,
a bit of a reprieve for them until December 31 this year, which is great. And they've been such big supporters of us, of course, running last season on their station. And they're going to be doing it again later this year. Yeah,
it's remarkable to think they're actually even bothering thinking about taking it off the air. I mean, it's a community television station. It's the second biggest city in the world. This is the third time they've given them a time extension, I believe. So it's kind of like when you're playing Daytona and you get the time extension on that and you get all excited. But the thing is, even after another time extension, it probably is going to end if you don't contribute. Now with Daytona, you put another $1 in, but contributing this way with Channel 31, I think people have got to be more vocal. If you see these posts online, you can simply press like. That's being vocal. You can comment in this comment section. Talking about how important it is to have these community ventures. I mean, this gives opportunities to people who wouldn't usually get an opportunity to get hands-on experience in the industry. And there's been a lot of great names over the years that have used that, Channel 31 as well.
Rode McManus is one of them, and of course Hamish and Andy, and I guess maybe one day we'll get our big start as well.
Well, here we are on Channel 31. We've had much more outreach on Channel 31 than I think than probably any other medium as well. So we think it's wonderful that they've had this time extension, but I think it's probably really time that they got some permanent news, and they were going to, by the end of the year, it'd be great to hear they're on permanently. But we just advise everyone involved in that, not just for our sake, by the way. We're not just talking about ourselves. It isn't just for us. It's a community thing. We understand how these things work, and we need us all to be vocal. Don't ignore these things. Don't just comment on cat videos. Get on to something that's as important as Channel 31 and support it. Trent, what do you reckon?
Speaking of cat videos, I reckon you can send some in tonight if you want.
Yeah.
Our number is 0411 48977. We would love to hear from you. So send pictures and messages through. You can comment on our Facebook live feed. And we're also on the radio again tonight, 99.5 and 99.9 TRFM across Gippsland. So big thanks to the guys for supporting us as well.
So we're watching our language tonight. Coming up tonight also on the show, a remarkable interview with Tony Calabro, who's actually with us in the studio here tonight as well. He's a wonderful guitar teacher from the Valley, legendary guitar teacher. I heard many stories about him over the years, and it's great to have him. And I can't wait to share that story with you all tonight. And also, we got to go out and catch an institutional band here in Gippsland, the Steaming Monzas. They've been together since 1992. They took a big hiatus and decided to get back together. They're a big 10-piece band, and they are really community-driven and are supporting musicians young and old all around this area. So it's great to get all these community-driven stories on tonight. But our first guest tonight is an Australian award-winning singer-songwriter hailing from Currumborough South. The great storyteller, he's inspired by the great storytellers of the 60s and 70s. He has a love for composing lyrics reflecting on the thoughts of many and sometimes challenging your beliefs. Please give a warm Live at Spectrum welcome to Mr. Philip Beggs.
Thank you, thank you. It's great to be here, and I'm accompanied by Mr. John Taylor. Give him a nice warm welcome as well.
Good to be here with you all.
It's hard to find a content person, and I think if contentment is one of those things that's, you know, if you've got it, you are so fortunate. And because we live in an age where we're bombarded by ads that sort of tell us that we need this and that. And in fact, they're created to make us feel dissatisfied so that we consume. That's what our society's on about, we're consumers. So this is my response to that. Don't need no dollar to get me to smile. Don't need no penthouse for prestige and style. Don't need no pills to get me through. All I really need is you. Magazines to tell me how to be. Don't need no phony friends on plasma TV. Don't need no holiday in Bali or Peru. All I really need is you. You're my fortune, you're my friend, you're my heart and soul. You're my comfort, you're my hope, the one to make me whole. You're the one that I love, and I know you love me too. So all I really need is you. Don't need no fences to keep in what's mine. Don't need no Rolex to tell me that it's time. Don't need no pills to get me through. No, all I really need is you. You're my fortune, you're my friend, you're my heart and soul. You're my comfort, you're my hope, the one to make me whole. You're the one that I love, and I know you love me too. So all I really need is you. Instrumental. Don't need no Dow Jones to measure my wealth. Don't need no trainer to oversee my health. Don't need no Ouija board or Ruby Doo Voodoo. No, no, no. All I really need, all I really need, all I really need is you. Thank you. Thanks very much. When I was 20 years old, I went up to Papua New Guinea, and I found it to be a really beautiful place. Fantastic people, incredibly generous and friendly and happy, living in beautiful simplicity. And I found the landscape equally as beautiful. It beautiful palm-lined sandy beaches and rugged mountains and amazing forests. And for me, it was a place of great tranquility and peace. But for the soldiers who fought there, of course, in the Second World War, it was anything but. It was a place of great horror, tragedy and sadness. And I was watching a documentary, and there was a fellow called Jack Manul who told his story as a 75-year-old. He broke down as he told it because of what had happened there had a profound effect on him, and this particular incident that he spoke about. So this is his story. This is, and I feel very honoured every time I get to sing it. It really is his story, and I've called it Birds of Paradise. was war in the jungle, sweat and mud and leeches on our legs. And the mozzies were so loud I kept on thinking they were planes overhead. Well, I was just a boy, I was sent up front to find out just how far the enemy had come, and then report on back so we could go and blow them all to kingdom come. And birds of paradise were singing somewhere in the forest, but I couldn't hear, couldn't see the forest or the trees, with my head so full of fear. Well, I stepped into this clearing at the same time as one of them, but I fired first and his body fell, twitched and he was dead. Well, I was just a boy and I'd never seen a dead man before, and where my bullet passed through I can't forget the blood and gore. And birds of paradise were singing somewhere in the forest, in trees overhead. Ah, but I couldn't hear, I was just so relieved it was him who was dead. As part of the procedure, well, I searched him and I took all I could find, and in his pocket was a photo that I just can't erase from mine. Outside his family's home with two smiling children on his knee, and a beautiful wife and a trickle of blood put there by me. And birds of paradise were singing somewhere in the forest, but I couldn't hear, couldn't see the forest or the trees, with my head so full of fear. Like a madman I went running, stumbling blindly through the trees, and I'm still running from that photo after 50 years. And birds of paradise are still singing in the forest where his body lay, and the picture is still clear, and it just won't go away, go away, go away. God, please forgive me, for I cannot forgive myself. God, don't forget me, for I cannot forget myself. And birds of paradise are still singing in the forest, in the forest, in the forest. Thank you very much. My great-great-great-grandmother came out from Scotland. Farmers in Australia used to advertise for wives. In Australia here, they'd advertise for wives to come out, and my great-great-great-grandmother, Grace Russell, responded to one of those advertisements and made that enormous journey. It wasn't a promise that they would marry. She had to prove herself, you know, that when they got here. So it was a huge sort of risk that she took. And as in life, unexpected things happen, and that's what happened to my great-grandmother. So this is her story. As a chorus, I'll get you to sing along too. She came out from Scotland, 1853. An ad in the paper gave this opportunity. Come to Australia, work my farm each day, prove your worth, and maybe I will marry you one day. Seize the moment, each and every day. Seize the moment, don't let them slip away. 4 months on the ship, sailing further from her home, sailing over oceans into the great unknown. She and the ship's carpenter became good friends at sea. She was only 19 and the winds blew wild and free. Seize the moment, each and every day. Seize the moment, don't let them slip away. Hey! When she got to Portland, she stood upon the pier, dressed up in her very best. Her heart raced with fear. Ah, she'd come so very far, and the day had just begun. But the farmer never turned up at the setting of the sun. 100 miles to meet her, he'd fallen from his horse, broke his leg so bad he couldn't meet her, of course. Well, the carpenter stepped up and he took her in his arms, saying, I'll jump ship, I'll marry you, let's find ourselves a farm. Seize the moment, let's hear each and every day. Seize the moment, don't let them slip away. Sometimes fate steps in and it taps you on the back, grabs you by the hand and takes you down another track. Seize the moment, come on, let's hear each and every day. Seize the moment, don't let them slip away. Hey! Well, of course, they got married, raised a family. Generations later, well, bingo, here is me. seize the moment. Each and every day, seize the moment. Don't let them slip away. Hey!
Good stuff. Thank you. John, how you going?
Good, mate.
Pleased to meet you.
Great to be here.
Sounds wonderful. Philip Beggs, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. You want that?
I don't know what they are.
You would never have seen those before because
No,
you were a primary school teacher a few years ago, but you're not
Couple of
doing it
years
anymore.
ago. No,
You're
so-
lucky. You've retired.
So
You don't
this
have
is
to
the
put up with these
latest
things.
phase.
They're awful. I'll put that away. so you've just finished up being a teacher a couple of years ago.
About
Has
2
this
years ago.
freed you up to pursue your musical interests?
Yes, well, look, for the first time, sort of applying for festivals and trying to get out there playing a lot more. So that's been good. But look, there are lots of reasons why you retire when you do, and one was my ageing parents, and just spending a bit of quality time with them has been really lovely. So they're sort of needing a lot of help now. So that's great to be able to do that.
Have
Yeah.
they inspired any of your musical wares?
Look, my father, I've written lots of stories about him. He was a wharfie and had lots of great stories, you know. There are lots of great characters on the wharf, and there's a guy called the London Fog who'd never lift anything, and there was the judge who used to go to work and sit on a case of beer all day, and so, you know, there are all these characters. But yeah, so... And he grew up by the river and had a real Tom Sawyer sort of upbringing, so he's inspired lots of songs, yeah.
So
Yeah.
what age do you get to when you stop singing about girls and cars and you start getting to the heads of people from history or in your own family and start writing from other people's perspectives?
Well, look, I picked up the guitar quite late. I was sort of late teens, early 20s when I started playing. I guess... I do write love songs, so you haven't heard any of those tonight, but I do like writing those. But there's lots of issues out there that really concern me, and so they're the things that sort of thoughts jump into my head. And
Is that the reason you picked up a guitar, or did you start playing and then start writing later on?
Look, I'd always sort of written things, you know, how, you know, kids sort of write morbid sort of poetry. Well, that's what I did. I sort of wrote a whole lot of sort of, you know, but... it was just a great way of sort of, it's very therapeutic writing, and playing the guitar's been very therapeutic too. So I was just lucky at a time when, you know, not a lot was going on in my life. I found music, and someone very kindly gave me a guitar, and
So they saw They saw a spark in
Well,
you,
I don't
didn't they?
know. I was just very, yeah, maybe they did, yeah.
And those are therapeutic gifts that you've learned. Were you able to use them in your teachings as well?
Absolutely.
You're at Poowong Primary School?
I was at Poowong Primary School, and look, for 13 years we ran a fantastic music program there. And my good friend Hugh McDonald from Red Gum sort of days, he would come down with his little portable studio, and I would have helped the kids to write songs, and then we'd record them. And then we'd have this fantastic CD launch, and in the last 4 years, we were writing musicals. And so the kids would sort of come up with an idea, and then we'd have to try and write songs around the themes of those musicals. And
so were the kids really coming up with these ideas for these songs?
Absolutely.
Because when I heard you write kids' songs as well, I thought, how do you do that? Because I've actually tried to do that before, and it's more difficult than you think, because you end up singing about something that's already been done before.
Look, kids are just so imaginative and spontaneous. And so... You know, particularly the prep kids, they haven't sort of been, you know, they haven't got the cool sort of, you know, factor happening. So they just sort of came out with great ideas, and, you know, so you'd sort of say, oh, what we write about today? What's been happening? One kid would say, oh, my sister got lost at the shops. And, oh, there's a song. My sister got lost at the shops. Then we found her again. Oh, that's it. You know, so it really is sort of, you know, I mean, and look, things on television. The kids came along talking about, I don't know if you remember that, the girl who supposedly saw a shooting, and the Chick Boom girl she was
Oh,
called.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, we wrote a song called that because that's what the kids were talking about. And one day, 3 kids in my class turned up with their head shaved. And I said, "What's going on, boys?" And one of them said, "Well, my aunt's got cancer. She's, you know, going through chemo. She's lost all her hair. I decided to shave my head to support her." And I said, "Well, what about that?" And they said, "Well, he's my mate. We don't want him walking around school looking..." So very powerful. And so we wrote a song about my dad's got cancer. And that was a group of boys, and they would sing it with such gusto.
Yeah.
You know, these grade 5, 6 boys who, you know, it's hard to sort of get them sort of motivated sometimes, but they were right into that.
Yeah, and because you're so into it, the kids latch onto that as well.
Yeah, but there's got to be that sense of belonging and ownership from them, and that's why we started writing songs with them. Yeah.
Now, Birds of Paradise, you just sang the second song in your set there.
Yes.
That was award-winning. You found yourself down at the Port Fairy Folk Festival. How'd you get involved in that?
I did, Brett. Yeah, well, I was there the year before, and there was this competition, and I didn't know about songwriting competitions at that point, but and went to this stage where there were 10 people who were selected to perform their songs on stage, and were doing, you know, perform their songs. And then I thought, oh, gee, you know, I'd like to put one of my songs in. So I did, and the next year it won. So that was just.
How do you benefit from a process like that and then winning an award like that? Do you get more of an audience?
Oh, you do. You get invited back to folk festivals and so on. So I was able to go back to Port Fairy the next year and sort of help out, but also perform on stage with some of my heroes like Eric Bogle and John McCutcheon and a whole lot of, great performers. So that was really special.
Beautiful. Now, the Chick Boom girl, I'm sure she's online, trying to get in touch with us right now. We'd love to know what she's up to. Trent, have you heard from her tonight?
No, not so far. I would like to see if Philip would like to write a song about the fidget spinner.
Do you like what happened to that? Yeah.
Wow.
Because these things are all the rage at the moment.
Do it in D minor. It's the most depressing chord.
D minor. Yeah. Is it depressing, is it?
What rhymes
Well, I
with
think
fidget
it is.
spinner?
But they're not on mobile phones anymore, at least, anyway.
I'm just spinning round, not going anywhere at all.
Going anywhere at all.
What's the point of turning?
You're so stupid. Yeah, that's good.
Here we go.
It could take you somewhere, I don't know. Back to Port Fairy.
Well done. So if you are watching tonight, you want to get in touch, leave a comment on our Facebook Live feed, or you can send photos and messages to 0411 489 77. First up, one of our crew who is actually on holidays at the moment, Jimmy, who's usually doing the lights. There he is with his lovely family.
Jimmy, we miss you tonight, mate.
They're up in the Northern Territory at the moment, so said, miss you all, do a great show, but not better than with me. BT is grouse. Thanks, Jimmy. I hope you have you back soon, not like that other bloke, Craig, that used to work for us.
What? No, he's all right, though. Who's that?
And David Williams has sent through a photo of a gorgeous little wombat from the Goongra Wombat Orphanage. David is actually, I think, related to our director.
I'm pretty sure that's from Wandon Valley. That's from Shirley Gilroy's house, if I recall.
Oh, in a country practice?
Yeah, that's Fatso, isn't it?
No, it's not. No, I think Fatso's long gone. So, David, and I think it's baby, is it Arif or Aruf? I'm not too sure. Emily as well, I've just been told on my ear, thank you. So David and Emily watching tonight. So there's some of the messages that have come through so far.
Beautiful. We'd love to keep hearing from
some
you
more
tonight.
wombats. Look how cute
Look at them. Oh, look at those. Yeah, what's that got to do with music? I don't know, but anyway, that's good. That's really cute. Philip, I'm going to invite you back now to play a fourth and final song for us.
Thank you.
And we should get you to introduce John and
yeah, sure.
tell us where he came across in the whole project as well.
Okay.
I might leave you to it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Philip Beggs.
John, tell us about yourself.
About me.
John's been playing music for years. He had hair down to his backside and back in the hippie days, and that's basically what he was like, a bit of a hippie, but playing the rock scene a lot. Electric guitar, but has discovered the joys and beauties of an acoustic guitar, and we get together occasionally to have a bit of a jam, so that's always a joy.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, and he's a great musician. So yeah, give him another round of applause.
Thank you.
My final song is that I'd like to sing for you is called Heartbreak Island. And in the 1800s, the last of our Tasmanian Aborigines were rounded up and sent to Flinders Island. And it saddens me that when I was first born, our Indigenous people weren't recognised as even being human. They were classified under the Flora and Fauna Act. And they were, in Tasmania, systematically slaughtered. There was a line that they deliberately sort of set up and tried to eradicate all the Aboriginal people. And anyway, the government had the idea that they would protect them and send them to an island, which they did. But of course, when you separate people from the place that they love, they just suffered enormously. And they would wander to the back of the mission, Wyballina Station Mission, and up onto the hills, and look back. They could see the Tasmanian coastline, and they just wail. So this song is a song dedicated to that. It's called Heartbreak Island. We were hanging on the edges to escape their hands of greed. Their promises were slippery, like their words, their deeds. With strings of beads they lured us across the salty sea. With so few left, they thought it best to protect our destiny. And day by day, one by one, we died away. Thy will be done. From the Flinders Island mission, look back to our home, how we miss the forests and those days we freely roamed. Our dreams on the winds blew back home o'er the sea, while we stayed here shedding tears with just our memories. Day by day, one by one, we died away. Thy will be done. Heartbreak Island, heartache shore, we cried a salty ocean, then we cried some more. Oh, the last of our footprints, gone forevermore. Souls that span so many years now, washed from the shore. And still the wind it howls, blows across the sea, howls across graves of the lost, unmarked, 'cause we were blind. And day by day, one by one, we died away. Thy will be done. Heartbreak Island, heartache shore, we cried a salty ocean, then we cried some more. heartbreak, heartache, heartbreak, heartache, heartbreak, heartache. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Philip Beggs. John Taylor, Philip Beggs and John Taylor. Thank you very, very much for sharing your stories. Whereabouts can we access your music too, Philip?
Oh, you'll have to talk to my wife. CDs.
Okay.
It's on Spotify, but if you, we've got CDs and so on that I produce. I produced 3 CDs over.
So we can find you online as well?
You can find me online. So I've got a website. Yeah.
Beautiful. Philip Beggs.
Philip Beggs Music. Yeah.
philipbeggsmusic.com.au.
Yep.
.au. Very important to make sure you get that right. Thanks very much,
you.
Philip.
Thank you.
Wonderful
Brett.
job tonight. It's time for the segment we did last episode, which I was sure would never happen again, but apparently it's happening again, Trent.
Yeah, that's right. It is time to beat Glover.
Oh, God. Woo! Thanks, guys. G'day. What's your name? Bryce. Nice. I'm Brett. How are you? Yeah, I'm pumped, Bryce.
We're back.
Thank you to tell.
Well, here it is, Beat Glover. This is the music quiz that's going to have you on the edge of your seat.
And we should welcome Bryce, our very special contestant tonight. Oh,
Yes.
you're doing that, Trent?
Oh, no, you can do that.
Bryce, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Do you know stuff?
Oh, not much.
Excellent.
Tell us a bit about yourself in 10 seconds. Bryce, go. 10,
Journalist,
9, 8,
don't have much
7,
music knowledge. No,
6,
it's all right. And
5,
yeah,
4,
it's great to make
3,
a laugh out of everyone
2,
else,
1.
except myself.
0. That's it. Okay, thank you very much.
This is going to suit you, Bryce.
Yeah.
Okay. The aim of the game, you have 10 music questions. You get 1 point for each correct answer. We're going to get the scoreboard up on the
Don't
TV
worry,
screen in
just
the
gives you all
background
the
as well.
points anyway.
Yeah.
You see this last time?
Helps when you know the answers, doesn't it?
You did see last episode.
5 seconds to answer each question. The contestant, of course, with the most points wins. So for every correct answer, you'll hear this sound.
Yeah.
For every incorrect answer, you'll hear this sound. We'll get you to test your buzzers. Brett? There we go.
It's sounding more like an old car horn every day, I think.
It's Bryce, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right, correct.
Bryce is
That's
nice.
1 point to you.
No,
that was That was
Last
just your
time
warm
we
up.
did this segment, Billy Weir was the first comment. He said we need to take it more seriously.
We are
Did
taking
you read
it
that
seriously.
comment? Do you respect Billy Weir?
And your mum was very upset as
If
well.
you're watching Billy, I was always upset when you pick on me, Trent.
So we'll reset the scores. Okay, so you guys ready? Question number 1. Remember, first in on the buzzer. Which Gippsland town was formerly the home of a large country music festival?
Hayfield.
Incorrect.
Hayfield Timber Music Festival.
Bryce?
Oh, gee. We'll say Sale.
You were kind of close, but incorrect. The answer is Stratford.
This is a bit
Can I have
wishy-washy,
half
isn't
a
it?
point?
No.
You
Question
get
number-
nothing.
Question number 2. Which song from the year 2000 had a video clip featuring a slinky finding its way home? Bonus points for the album title. Brett?
My Happiness by Powderfinger off the album where they're going down in the water. I can't recall what it's called. I'm so sorry.
We'll give you 1 point because you got it right. Odyssey number 5 was...
So I'm in front.
Yes, you are.
This has never happened.
Of the
Never.
album was Odyssey number 5.
gee.
Oh, Odyssey number 5.
Question number 3. Which band made a reality TV show, Band in the Bubble, filmed inside a bubble?
This is awesome, Bryce. Thank you. That was Regurgitator.
Correct.
This is great.
Well done. You
I've
are
been set
redeeming
up.
yourself
Getting
from last
stitched up
episode.
here.
All right,
No,
question number
you're
4.
not. I'm just
Now, you
really
need
good.
to pay attention for this one because there's 4 parts to the answer. Which Australian towns or cities are home to these iconic streets and landmarks? Here we go.
All right.
AC/DC Lane, Go Between Bridge, Parkway Drive, and the Golden Guitar. Far away.
Oh, I know the last one. It's Tamworth.
Correct. AC/DC Lane is in.
Melbourne.
Oh, you're helping.
No.
Maybe we'll split the points. Okay, so you got one, so there's one to Bryce, and then Glover, you got one.
Parkway Drive.
Yes.
At the band from Perth.
I don't know. I just need to know where
Perth?
it's... Byron Bay is the answer.
Oh,
and the other
Bay.
one was Go Between Bridge, Brisbane.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, okay.
Give us a James.
No, I'm sorry. You're in front. Stop complaining. You're doing better than last time. Question number 5. Australia has some interesting band names. TISM is one of these. What does TISM stand for?
Oh, something. Oh no. Oh no. Mum's in it.
This is
serious,
Mum. There we go. All right, question number 6. Which Brisbane-based band featuring Chris Bailey and Ed Cooper helped establish the punk genre in the mid-1970s? Brett.
The Saints.
Correct.
Yes.
25 years before I was born.
That's okay. All right.
Come on, Bryce. Just try harder, Bryce.
I'll give it a crack.
Question number 7. In which decade was the ARIA chart established?
Go for it, Bryce.
Go.
I don't know, was it the 90s?
Correct.
Yeah!
1992 to be precise. So well done. All right, question number 8. Who was the first Aussie band to top the UK singles chart?
That would have been hello, brother, the shop lady. What's I can't.
This is the worst answer in history.
No, I'm sorry. I can't
That
answer
time's
the
up.
question.
The Seekers.
The Seekers is what I'm
I'll
trying
Never
to say.
Find Another You was the song
Georgie
in
Girl,
1964.
What's the J there? Georgie Girl. One of the girls past you, bro. I'll sing it later.
Please don't. Question 9. Which music festival relocated from Phillip Island to Warragul and changed its name? And what is the festival's new name?
So it was the Falls Festival. The one that. Oh man, this is see when you watch quiz shows, right? Yep, you know. And we won't talk about it.
Okay, so you got the first part wrong. Do you want to go for the second part anyway? What's it called now?
I can't remember.
Okay,
now.
so it's
Sorry.
Pyramid Rock Festival, now Beyond the Valley.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Final question.
Right.
I don't think it really matters who's going to get this. We know that who's going to win.
beauty, I'm gonna
Question number 10. What is Kevin Mitchell of Jebediah's solo alias?
His solo alias is.
You have to buzz in.
Oh, it's you get mental blanks when you're on these shows. It's so hard. No, you got to say the answer, then we'll go. Go on.
Bob Evans.
Bob Evans.
So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Brett
stitched
Glover
up.
is the winner on
Bryce,
4
good on you.
points.
No, but stay
So
here,
give it up for
stay here.
Bryce.
Stay here, you're a legend.
That was Beat Glover. You can roll the outro, please.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Thanks very much, Bryce. You can come back next week too and do that. That was great. Oh, I'll get an outro. Yay! We're going to get straight into the next story here. In 1992, a large group of musicians decided to form a group with a big soul sound rarely seen in our community. The result was a well-respected band with a reputation. I just realised I've got a chicken in my hand. Thanks for the pig. They share in what they love, and after a long hiatus, they're back and better than ever.
Known as a musical mainstay of Gippsland for 3 decades, the Steaming Monzas are back. Performing as the tight 10-piece that everyone remembers, the Monzas display a perfect blend of musicianship with a love of performing at every show. With original members performing alongside more recent ones, the legendary Steaming Monzas are a live experience not to be missed. We caught up with the Monzas on Friday night at Sporting Legends in Sale.
I got married in February '92, and Steve called me up a week later after I'd vowed off bands and asked me if I would like to join a new band he was putting together, and I said, yeah, okay.
Well, what made you want to?
Thanks, Sophie.
What made you want to start this band?
Brass section, playing in a band with the brass section. That was probably the one of the big ideas behind it. But again, I've got a little point that I remember. Do you remember K9, the movie?
Yes.
When he walks the dog and he lets it in the car with the poodle.
Yeah.
And he gets in the car with the poodle, a purebred poodle, and then he jumps out of it. You know, his owner's going, come on, come on, come on. And the dog jumps out of the car and goes, ow, ow, I feel good. And that was it. And I remember hearing I Feel Good, and I thought, man, we've got to play that song.
The history of the Steaming Monzas, well, you should do that, but it started with Jerry Lang and the Junctions, didn't it?
It sort of did, yeah.
and manoeuvred on.
And then we were very, very lucky because the Blues Brothers and the Commitments were huge, and Stevie Schultz came up with the idea of doing a band with doing that sort of material and trying to crack onto that sort of popularity.
You know, on reflection, when we started, it was just one of those things you do, and then you just realise how lucky we've been and how fortunate we are to sort of be able to get back and do it again. It's just, it's really...
What else would you rather be doing on a Friday night?
Yeah.
Playing at Sale at Legends.
Exactly.
It's the pinnacle. We dropped off, as you probably heard. We didn't play for a long time, and then someone had the, or Johnny Werner obviously, made the decision to get it all happening again, so we thought we'd have a bit of a go at it, and it's just gone bigger than Ben-Hur, and we've attracted number 2 guitarists.
Hang on.
No, you're number 1, sorry, yeah. You're number 1, I'm number 2. So Danny's, we've played on and off together, and we've just, our paths have crossed yet again, and it's really good fun.
So it's just gone a year.
Well, how hard was it to get started initially? Because you need the numbers to get a band like this going. And
it was all phone calls. All phone calls. We got on the phone, or I got on the phone. I met with Mick, the singer, and then we spoke about who should be in the band. And luckily we had Chris, the sax player. Chris was a young fellow who was very enthusiastic, and he wrote 30 brass charts in one night nearly.
Then his mum had dropped him off for practice.
Yeah,
he was on
really young. He was only 17, 16 or something. But he wrote all of the charts, so we were really lucky to have him. And the very first rehearsal, I think we played about 26 songs or something, and we were all that surprised.
Yeah, you're the new man in town.
I was
kicking my ass.
Very envious. No, that's not true at all. Very envious through the 90s. I was playing weddings, and we might cross paths like what was it called in Moe, where you had Carlucci's and
and upstairs.
Yeah, I remember sneaking in to look at you guys and going, I wish I was in that band. And and they had a lot of guitarists through over the years, like Scotty Tapar.
Yeah, Scotty,
Ning Hopkins, another local legend.
Yeah, Ning played when I was away. Yeah,
and then when they both stepped aside, I was in there like a shot.
I reckon we might have different ideas about this, I'm not sure, but we've been playing back together for nearly 2 years now, a bit over 2 years. Yeah. And what we're doing tonight, we've got Louis jumping up, we've got a fine vocalist hopping up tonight as well. To every gig we play, we're having at least 3-4 guests get up and guest. We've had
5 drummers last week.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
That's right. We had a couple of guest vocalists.
I think because we all headed off into a very community-orientated directions. We're all getting really heavily involved in the community, so we've sort of brought that thinking across to this. So it's still a really tight outfit, but people are getting the chance to come and sit in with us and feel what it feels like.
You know, it only takes one word of encouragement to someone to say, you're doing pretty good, and you can change a life, you know.
And what's the payoff for you guys at the end of doing something like that?
Well, just to hear, just to get, and see maybe down the track, that guy got up and done a couple of songs with us, and now he's bloody kicking ass doing this, doing that,
But it's like sharing. It's like, anything you love, if you can share it, it's even better. Like I've done enough, played enough notes, so I'm more than happy to give the guitar over and go and see what it sounds like for the punters, as well as enjoy, someone that I wouldn't normally get to see, because not many bands you get to do that.
It's not often you get a chance to sit in with a band this big. You always get your 5-piece or your 4-piece, but you don't get the whole gamut with the brass and the keys. And it's a pretty special, as you know, it's a special thing,
We just really like playing. We like each other. We're all very good mates, and have been mates since we were basically kids, since we were 20. We play for ourselves, and if we get some gigs, that's good. Basically, we put on all those gigs at Yanar just to play for our friends and just try and have some fun for ourselves. And it just built and built and built every month until they couldn't fit all the people in anymore.
it's a great experience if you are a punter or a musician, you want to get along to one of their gigs. Hell, you might even get a go as well. Trent, you were actually there at their last gig Friday night. Sorry to shock you there.
No, that's okay. I was deep in thought. Yeah, it was a really a great gig. And that room sounds amazing in Sale.
Yes, yeah, we've got a few great spaces around the Wellington Shire. And we'd like to get that spreading as well.
You got up and sang too. I saw a little bit of that.
Sang a couple of songs. Fantastic band to work with. Tell you what, they were tight.
We've had some messages come through too. Lots of people watching tonight. Enza Brullo's watching. Dan Cotterill, Anya Bartle. We've had a message from Matt McQuillan. Said, Brett, your eyebrows are very, very nice. And also a message that has come through from Danny Eddy, who we saw as part of the Steaming Monsters. He says he's surprised to see the Beat Glover segment back. He heard that we were working on something new. Contestants are locked in a house together whilst you peek in their windows and film their every mood. It's called Big Glover. Right. And we want to say hello to Danny, who is watching at home tonight.
Oh, Danny, very nice,
relaxed. And we did get a message from the boys who are about to take the stage as well. Southern Solstice, you drank all the rider out the back. What's going on?
Thirsty.
Yeah.
It's Thursday.
Ready to go.
Waiting to be on live at Spectrum.
Keep your messages coming through 0411 489 or just leave us a message on our Facebook Live feed.
All right, let's get into it, man. Audience, make sure you get your earplugs in because we are going to rock the house right now. The Aussie hip-hop scene has exploded over the last 2 decades, yet still vastly missing from our local live music scene. With stories to tell and rhymes to sell, our next, that was my rap, our next guests are ready to kickstart all Gippsland MCs. Prepare to be thoroughly entertained by Southern Solstice.
Thank you. So I guess to pick up from where Philip left off, we're going to tell a few stories in the first 2 songs. Now this one's called My Diaspora. Everyone aware a diaspora is the dispersal of a people from their homeland. So making it My Diaspora is a self-indulgent tale about, I suppose, how I fit into this country as a European Australian, where I'm from. I can't decide whether that's Malta, the Isle of Man, or any of the other races that I've got in me. So let's get into it. Hope you enjoy it.
The big red rock, the city blocks, busy streets and the trams. Prefer the country ones with eucalyptus trees and the dams. Mountain ranges, plains, beautiful big beaches and sands. Corrupted government, still a lot of freedom at hand. Can't call it home, I don't have the right to be in this land. We stand Gunite country, I'm a European man. So I'm told but never been there. Just got a rough idea of what they eat and how they speak there. Can name the country's capitals but couldn't say what streets were. Between all the ruined foreign Europe, you'll find me there. Soul searching, transfixed in a deep stare. Cause I've got blue Viking eyes and dark Maltese hair in my blood. I'm aware of at least 5 races. Nah, it's not a point of pride, just trying to find where my place is and identify my clandestine gangster. If this was home, it'd be the land of my ancestors. And even here, man, I've lived in lots of different towns. So what does that mean? Is home just where I'm living now? Where I put my possessions down and I threw my hat? What I know about my home is that it's not under a Union Jack. Where the nation wept for 2 dudes caught moving smack clap in accordance with the laws of Indonesia. But just silence when indigenous get beaten into finer print for readers. You can find it in the reason. Pride's in fever on Invasion Day. Celebrate the theft of this land, the boats of slaves that came, pouring Celtic captives of the Queen sent to pave the way for the new colony with the monopoly of racist ways. Injustice as plain as day, still none care. We worship sports stars and sing advance Australia unfair. And they say home is where the heart is. I found home is where the love's at. When you leave, you'll find home in all the reasons that you come back, my dear.
Thank you. This next one's another story that I think people all across Gippsland can really relate to. It's called Blue Collar Blues. And I guess as you guys are experiencing up here in the valley at the minute, closing down power stations, sawmills are getting closed down. And yeah, I guess this one goes out to all my working class people. Sunbaked, taking solace in the crumpled pack of durries till them lungs ache. His mum hates the fact his old man worked the same job. All that got for him was a cold can and a grave plot. Maybe it's lucky that today he got laid off jobs and overseas. The foreman said they need to save costs. He liked to take off, but first he'd need to save lots. And he likes to drink and she likes to play slots. Sing siren songs to guard a ship to come in. Drops $1 in, hits the button, gives it a spin. Eyes her last cigarette and takes a sip from a gin, yeah. Life could be better, at least she's living with him. Say she's the queen to his king, and since teens they've been lovers who never really needed anything but each other. We dwell somewhere between the lower and the middle class and try to see it half full even though it's in a little glass.
Yeah, blue collar blues, $2 booze. Crooks with a badge, pay to follow you. You've gotta keep rolling on, head up and grin, and it's a war outside and the yuppies are winning. We're crushed under the weight of the upper class. Turn your chin up and fill your glass. Blue collar blues, sing it. Blue collar blues.
Hit my fingers on my sawmilling. Truth be told, I need more sleep and more chilling. Lord willing, I can catch some rest this Saturday. But now there's a game of footy to play, it'll have to wait. Flag to chase the ladder, made a mount to help my town to top it. Thoughts of work of trading fingers to the saw to score a house deposit. I'm about to stop it with that thought for a bit, but ain't the morning come that I don't feel like calling in sick. Get over ordinary life and tired of all of its shit. It's hard to grow a crop without a drop to water it with. But come what may and come what will, we won't be calling it quits. Cause when the going gets tough, the tough get balling their fists. Out to meet it head on, now how appalling is this? They closed another factory across the railroad tracks. That's at least
get closed down. Won't be long until they build a bypass to go round. On your way to holiday where people speak more profound. We're fishing in the kitchen sink, wishing that it didn't stick. Eyeing off a bigger house, but living for them little things. We dwell somewhere between the lower and the middle class. Try to see it half full even though it's in a little glass. Getting smaller every damn day. Yeah, blue collar blues, $2 booze. Crooks with a badge pay to follow. Yeah, you've gotta keep rolling on. Head up and grinning. It's a war outside and the yuppies are winning. We're crushed under the weight of the upper class. Till your chin up and fill your glass. Blue collar blues, sing it. Blue collar blues. Blues, $2 booze. Pigs with a badge paid to follow you. You've gotta keep rolling on, man. Head up and grin. It's a war outside, and them yuppies are winning. We're crushed under the weight of the upper class. Till your chin up and fill your glass. Blue collar blues, sing it. Blue collar blues. But blue collar blues sound like, and they sound like.
Sounded great, man. Big Will.
Cheers, man.
And DJ Iron Tyson, ladies and gentlemen.
Or MC, that one will work too.
Yeah, MC, that'll work too. Give another clap. That's Solstice. Some Gippsland hip-hop on live at Spectrum. We're going to get Will over as well for a chat. We're going to speak to Tyson, Big Willie. These guys have been doing some wonderful stuff. This is recently a new band, isn't it? You haven't been going for the 5 or 6
Somewhat.
years?
We've had the release out since February, but no, not a 5 or 6 year stint, sort of probably over the last year and a half, 2 years.
So where does this all stem from? When did you find out you had Gift of the Gab, Tyson?
Oh, I started rhyming when I was 14, but been heavily into and influenced by hip-hop since about 11.
Who are you listening to? Are you listening to the Australian hip-hop scene?
No, the first... Geez, Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
In grade 5. My mum didn't hear those tapes, but...
No.
Then lots of the early gangster stuff, 90s boom bap, New York rap and hip-hop.
What was it about it that attracted you to that kind of music?
I still can't tell you to this day. I think just the honesty, the self-expression, the empowerment, everything that comes with it.
So you're following those rules when you're writing the lyrics for these songs now? You're trying to be as honest as you possibly can?
These ones, not when I first started rhyming. I thought I was an LA gangster myself.
Yeah.
As all young teenage rappers do. But
yeah, and then you realise you're from East Gippsland. You went from East LA.
That's right. That's right. It's a slight difference.
Well, I suppose, like, I haven't rapped for a while now. Like, I know Marvellous by the MCG, I think he was.
The 12th Man.
The 12th Man, yeah. But how do you remember all these words?
Oh, I can't do anything else, so there's plenty of space in my brain.
You say, like, they roll off the tongue like quite easily after you've done it. Did you have any swear words that were in that song you had to get out of that song? Just
No, I didn't. Not in that particular one, no.
Oh, that worked out. I was just wondering, how do you get your head around when you've got your muscle memory going in your mouth and all of a sudden you've got to...
Yeah, I didn't want to leave that one up for a case of error. So.
Yeah, fair enough. So, you've been in the hip-hop scene around Gippsland. We do hear of people doing hip-hop in our region. Have you been involved in that scene as well?
Not so much in the Gippsland scene, though. I was more active a few years ago in Melbourne.
Yep.
Though there is, since coming back from Melbourne, it does seem there is a lot more young fellas, older fellas, middle-aged fellas getting into it, so it's great to see, and I'd love to hear a bit more.
And what's the difference between doing hip-hop with recorded music compared to having a live band around you?
Yeah, I guess I used to do that myself, you know, with the MPC, drum machine, sample off records and put together the beats along with those that my mates made as well. But yeah, it just fell into place. It's more fun playing with these guys, a bit more of an experience together as well, and a bit more of a fuller sound. So I think it brings a different element to it.
Yeah, it's very powerful. And you got Big Will here on the bass. How'd you get involved with this project, Will?
So I guess originally it formed from a little video we did of Tice and a friend of ours, Dad, Michael. They were just having a bit of a jam in the shed, and Tice was just spitting some rhymes over this beautiful guitar, and I was just listening to it. I'm like, wow, there's something here. So yeah, like I said, got a video of it. Came back and showed Sam, who I was living with at the time, and I'm like, man, we should do something like this. Like, there's something here. And yeah, he was about it straight away and got Tice involved and said, you know, let's get into this, and just flourished from there.
Had you been playing music before this?
Oh, look, I mean, I've been playing bass for like 13, 14 years, but haven't played with a band before. So yeah, it's been a new experience, but it's been a lot of fun. Just good guys to be jamming with.
Was hip-hop something you were into before you got the
It
band
wasn't
together?
something that I even realised I was into, but going back over stuff like, you know, the old Tony Hawk's Pro Skater soundtracks and realising you're like, geez, I've been listening to this stuff like, you know, since little fella. So, no, it's been really good. It's been fun.
And the first time we heard about you guys, we were down at the Brew and Blues Festival, and we came across Dave Williams, who the night before had been to the launch of your album, which I have here, the Golden Hour. And he was just raving about your sound and the energy that was in the room. So can you...
On your Dave.
Explain, pretty good little connection he's made here, and it's great for us. So can you explain a little bit about that launch and how it went that night? See if there's any truth in it.
Yeah, no, look, it wasn't well-run night. We put it together ourselves with a bunch of local dudes on the act, plus got some mates down from Melbourne to support it down at the Imperial Hotel. So we ran all the PA and the sound and publicity, etc. So we had well over 100 people down there for a live hip-hop show in Bairnsdale. And look, it was rave reviews. The owner asked us to go back as soon as we can. Everyone else was saying, when's the next one? So yeah, it was a really great response. And
because it's not easy to get a local pub to actually support original music in our region.
And hip-hop.
Yeah. So how did that work out for them?
Quite good, I believe. He did, he spoke highly of it and said it all ran well, was happy with it. Everyone behaved themselves, everyone had fun, so... And that was a bit of a watering hole for us, so we were on more than first name basis with the owner.
That works out well too.
Yeah, it helps.
Now, this was a long time coming, this album. This wasn't done overnight. There's a bit of a story to tell about a bit of a hiatus in the recording and then coming back to it and finishing it off as well.
Yeah, there was a few speed humps along the road, I guess you could say, but I guess...
Nothing major, just... little hiccups here and there, and just wanted perfection out of it. And we got there.
Winter happened.
Right.
These guys moved house from the original jam room of the lounge room, and it took a while to get power out to the new jam bungalow and get sorted and get going again. But
that was running an extension lead out there.
Oh right, That's not dangerous at all. That's fine. How do your rehearsals go? Do you really put your heads down when you're at rehearsal, or can it turn into something else from time to time?
Down, but then we pick up the beer and then it comes back up, you know. So,
but no, beers aside, and even inside, once we're in there, we get into it and have good nights and bad. Good nights we come out with stuff like on here, and bad we come out with stuff that you're never going to
hear. So what does the future hold for this band now? You know, a lot of the original bands have to travel back and forth from Melbourne and down in East Gippsland, which is a fair hike away. Are there any other opportunities to do some original music in our area that you can get onto?
Yeah, we're getting onto the front foot, contacting venues across Gippsland and Victoria.
Yep.
So if anyone wants to have us play, get onto us. There's an email address that's available, which is higherplanesentertainment@gmail.com. You'll get me, and love to hear from you and come play.
Yeah, and you've got some great merchandise too. I've got the, it's very supportive, the Southern Solstice T-shirt. Where can we get one of these too? A nice fit.
Hit us up on Facebook, otherwise we'll get them on, Bandcamp?
Yeah, we have a Bandcamp account as well, which you can also purchase the Golden Hour from, or stream it for free. We don't care, as long as you listen to it.
There you go, that's the spirit.
Use that clever software, rip it off there.
And tell us about your Malakuta trip. You were down there a couple of months ago. It looked like you had a great time.
Yeah.
It was a great crowd. I mean, like, I was a bit nervous about it at first, but just to see such a great crowd get excited about music they hadn't heard before, and everybody just rushing to the front of the stage and getting into it, and you know, it's what it's all about. So I'd love to get back down there soon.
And you guys are very vocal online, and I'm sure you've got some mates and fans that have been vocal with Trent tonight. Have you heard from anyone, Trent?
Yes, we have actually. It's been mentioned that your drummer looks like a better-looking, younger Glenn Robbins.
Oh, right, yeah. Uncle Arthur.
See the similarity. So there you go. 0411148977 is our number. We want to say hello to everybody that's listening on TRFM across Gippsland tonight. John Curran sent through a message before. He said it's like listening to Radio Caroline in the 60s and 70s, but with vision and brilliant sound. It's great. I think that was in regards to Phil's performance before. Fiona Cox said brilliant musician and wonderful teacher. To Philip, Fiona Kershaw said that Philip speaks so nicely too. Anya Barsel says hip hop with a groove, which is very cool. Linda Mary said, "Go, Dave." And, yeah.
On your day. On your
And
day.
we've also had a Snapchat sent through to us from Craig, who, of course, used to be part of our team. He's watching all the way over in Perth. And, of course, in Perth on a Sunday, it's Corporate Sunday. So a big shout out to you, Craig. Thanks for sending your message through. And we are on Snapchat. Just search Live at Spectrum.
Oh, pardon my ignorance. What's Corporate Sunday?
It's kind of like what you're wearing tonight. Business jacket.
Oh,
casual
right. It's an
t-shirt.
official day. That's something that Craig's penned.
Yeah, it's all the rage. It's
Fair
catching
enough,
on.
I get it too. I can't wait to hear this Casio keyboard that you've got set up over here. I was playing on one of those at Kilmarnie South Primary School in 1986 and I did rather well on it.
It's the same one.
It's the same one. That's the one. Can't wait to hear it. Using it in the next song. Excellent. Can't wait to hear the sweet sounds of the Casio 1986. What are you going to play for us next, boys?
We're going to play the self-titled The Golden Hour.
Beautiful. It's off the album, which is held backwards. There it is. The Golden Hour. Please welcome back to Live at Spectrum, Southern Solstice.
If you don't get the picture, let my words sink, they'll scroll it for you. Life cyclic, the earth flipped it over for you. Seen the rich get richer, poor get poorer, stuck stagnant, no traction, a dormant aura, no life force. Some strive forth to slaughter, right designed to find thoughts and lead a horse to water. Avenger, sword drawn will storm the border, so you best draw yours when I'm calling for ya. My war drums bang, get you walking taller. Force of the righteous, restore the order with my mate Southern Solstice. Break from what holds us, small chisel scraping great boulder shaped sculptures. My mind's a fine line in between that of Gandhi and Genghis Khan. Torn between leading armies and endless calm. I walk between paths, keep stepping fast, push on, even when drawing each breath gets hard. I used to get left out, I never dressed the part. Wounds heal, but the skin gets left with scars. Mine made me, I wear them like necklace charms. Guard the threshold, the weak hearts can't enter past. Spit with a booze breath and a scent of grass. Southern Solstice rock shit, you can bet your ass. Lift your spirits like making a toast. Out to get out for real, can't wait for a ghost. Those with least to say aloud, that's the way that it goes. Call themselves MCs, they can't rock a hole in it. They claim to keep it real, but few of them put their soul in it. Not MCs, they can't rock a hole in it. They claim to keep it real, but few of them put their soul in it. Yeah, few of them put their soul in it.
Prepared, fresh air. I know where I'm going when I get there. Prepared, fresh air. I know where I'm going when I get there. Where I'm going when I get there. I've been walking so long, but each step made me strong. Fall down, get up, prepared and still ahead I stare. Deep breath, taking fresh air. Have faith that I'll know where I'm going when I get there.
Gonna what?
Yeah, I know where I'm going when I get there.
What?
Yeah, I know where I'm going when I get there.
I find myself within the throes of the golden hour. The time of day, a state of mind that fill my soul with power. From the young and optimistic going to the old and sour. I've got a message here that's just for you. You gotta learn how to love all, but trust a few. Don't walk around blinded by hate, it obstructs your view. And if they laugh at you, be strong. Master your freedom. Never deviate from any path that your feet's on. Cause yo, I seen it even before I grew chest hair. That I'm gonna know where I'm going when I get there. The last place the sun's rays of grace before it sets there. Out in the fresh air, the time that fill my soul with power stays shining
you, thank you. We enjoying ourselves out there tonight?
That's Southern Solstice doing wonderful stuff here live at Spectrum. Trent, surely it's very busy online now.
We want the messages to keep coming through, 0411 489 77. We've got a few more that we're going to save towards the end of the show, but I have been wanting to mention all night our poor cameraman Aidan, who has really stepped up to the plate tonight, had a bit of a rough night on the sauce, and we did make sure the people in the back row wore a raincoat just in case he did bring up the day's takings, but we think he got most of it out of his system this morning, so good on you, Aidan.
It's always great. He's quite a achiever, Aidan. It's really great to embarrass him from time to time. Southern Solstice will be back very shortly to take us out this evening. Now, as a music teacher myself, I often come across students with loads of potential and desperately try to find ways to inspire them. Early in my career, I heard about a guitar teacher in the Valley who was consistently churning out successful students. Live at Spectrum finally had the opportunity to find out what it takes to be a world-class musician.
Revered by both his students and peers, Tony Calabro's contributions and influence on the Gippsland music scene cannot be overstated. With a mentoring technique that has produced some of the world's best guitarists, Tony continues to influence the paths of tomorrow's musicians. We spoke with Tony at his studio about his career and his philosophy on teaching. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony Calabro.
The Calabro name within the Valley, Gippsland, Australia. You obviously come from a musical family?
Actually, no.
No?
To the best of my knowledge, I'm the first Calabro to actually play a musical instrument, to the best of my knowledge. My father was a good singer and my mother had a nice voice, and Dad particularly loved singing. He had a lovely voice. Yeah. So we had music in the home all the time. From a very young age, I remember having a passion for music and loving it. A music store opened up in Morwell called Keynote Music Centre in George Street, opposite the Express, and I was there nearly every day. And they noticed something about me in people's skills, because when they were on the phone, I'd help a customer. And they'd have guitars on the wall and I'd say, can I help you? You know, they're a bit busy at the moment. And they were observing me without me knowing about it. And after a while, they said, you know, if you taught guitar for us, we'd sell more guitars. And I said, but I can hardly play myself. And they said, yeah, but you're no more than a beginner. So we'll advertise for beginners. And if you plan 10 lessons ahead, your beginners are never going to catch up with you because you'll do the next 10 and so on. And I thought about that, and they offered me a job. And at that time, the principal of the university that I was studying civil engineering said the same thing to me. He said, Tony, I don't think your heart's in engineering. Why don't you take a break, find out what life's about, and you'll do two things. You'll either come back and become a really good engineer because you're smart enough, or you'll find another career and you'll be a lot happier. So Keynote Music Centre opened up, gives me this opportunity, and I thought, I'll give it a go for 12 months. And if I can't make a living after 12 months, I'll go back to engineering. Well, after 12 months, I was that busy as a guitar teacher. I was making more money than an engineer, and I thought, this is what I'm going to do. Wow. And here I am 47 years later. 47? 47 years later, still doing it. Yeah, so that's how it came up. You know, when somebody rings me for guitar lessons, I say to them that I'm not willing to compromise what I think's important, and it's in your best interest as well as my best interest, okay? And I don't compromise because the program that I've come up with has produced the very best guitar players this region's ever seen. Yeah. Okay, and you know that very well yourself. So why would I compromise this program? Instead, I explain to them what's involved, and if they're happy to join, I'm happy to teach them. But if they just say, look, I just want to learn Smoke on the Water or Stairway to Heaven or, you know, and there's nothing wrong with any of those things. They're all good things to learn, right? I say, no. If you do my program, you will be able to do those things and a heck of a lot more. And that's what, you know, I would be lying to you if I said there was another way. If there was a better way, I'd be using it. I used to give workshops. At the end of every term, I'd get all my students together and the families, and and all the students would play together, and I'd give them experience to perform up on the stage, and you may have come to one or two of them, you know. And there was question time, and one guy, funny guy, and when I said, "Is there any questions?" he said, "Are you still 10 lessons ahead of us?"
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, and I said, "Well, there's a few more lessons ahead of now." Yeah, but that comes with hard work and persistence and practicing the right things, you know, listening to the right things. I often say to my students, listening is practice. What you put in eventually comes out. You know, you put crap in, crap comes out. You put good stuff in, good stuff will come out eventually. There's a rub-off effect, you know. Sometimes it even surprises me how good they become, and I'll go in and have a cup of tea with Mary and I'll joke and say, "I think I'll book in with guitar lessons with myself. You know, this is amazing what's happening with this kid, you know." So it's a really good system. And when I went to America 8 years ago, the great Bill Wurtzell, that gentleman there from New York, very busy New York guitar player, he took an interest in my program, you know, and he said, "How did you come up with this system, you know?" He said, "You know, we've got a lot of great guitar players in America, in New York, but none of them teach like you. Has anybody ever done your life story like that?" He spoke to me like that, really passionately. I said, "No, they haven't." "Well, they should." So he rings up this magazine called Just Jazz Guitar, which goes all over the world. And long story short, they did an interview, it went for 7 pages, and I'm in that book, you know, and it's all about the teaching program, you know, because they don't need me. They've got many much better guitar players than me in America, but it's the system and the way that I teach, and it's the mentoring that goes with it as well. You know. See, Bradley Kipriotis used to jam with Troy and Brett Lee, you know, and Daniel used to jam with Brett Lee and the Parr kids, you know, and all that sort of stuff, you know. So I have a group at the moment where they email each other, and there'll be anything from 6 to 12 that turn up in somebody's place and they have a jam session. And what I'm finding is they're more motivated, they see the bigger picture, and they become, every one of them, better students as a result of it, you know. Yeah, so sometimes you've got to make your breaks. You know, if the community doesn't provide it, then you've got to do it, you know.
As much as we could express the respect of Tony's students, we thought we'd let them speak for themselves.
Hello to my good friend Tony Calabro. This is Brad Kipriotis from Sydney. The secret to my success with Tony was definitely having Brett Lee in the lesson before me. I'd get my mum to bring me in 10 to 15 minutes early every week just to sit in on Brett's lesson, and basically get 2 lessons for the price of 1. But just to hear Tony play was so inspirational. So any time that I could spend with him was well worth it.
My background with Tony is about 10 or 11 years of lessons, and you know, I think I was actually just telling a student then that the first 5 of my time with Tony were, you know, I think I caused him a lot of headaches, but I think the aha moment, if I was to pinpoint one, was just one lesson where I came in probably with 20 minutes of preparation behind me. It was a little bit of a, you know, if you're going to do this, mate, do it properly, or see you later, you're out.
I was a kid. I was about 14 years old. I met a guy called Jack Jones, who was actually one of my heroes growing up. And because of that meeting, he told me about this amazing guitar teacher, Tony Calabro. We found a way of getting in touch with you, and you were too busy to take new students, but Jack picked up the phone and called you, and you made a space for me. Because you made that space for me, here I am today bumping along on a highway somewhere in the middle of America. So basically it's all your fault.
I recorded the greatest message ever a video ago, but my sound has gone weird, so I'm using this hands-free thing. Anyway, technology. Tony Calabro, when someone says, imagine an excellent guitar teacher with a holistic approach, a principle-focused person that cares passionately about imparting the wisdom of the greats onto anyone who comes to them for guitar lessons. I imagine a little Italian bloke named Tony Calabro. I got to say, he definitely had a massive impact on me. Every lesson was like 50 lessons.
Tony, mate, how you going? Just wanted to say a big g'day from Los Angeles. Here I am in my studios here in North Hollywood, Prohibition Studios, and what can I say, mate? It's been 20 years since I left Australia. I can't even I can't even believe that. That's just nuts. All those years ago when I first started with you, and I think it was a Wednesday afternoon my lessons were, around 2:20, and I think I moved up to a double lesson there for a long time. For 8 years, you put up with my crap and kicked my butt. And yeah, a lot of ups and downs, so much information, such a great foundation you gave me. And man, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here in Los Angeles living my dream.
All right, well, it's about bloody time someone's done this. Tony, I love you. I miss you.
Oh, God bless you.
It's been a long time since I last saw you, but I think about you every day. And I just feel so grateful for the time that we spent together, and so grateful and thankful to you for your commitment and generosity and compassion and love and stability and mentorship. You're celebrated by many of us every day. And it's nice for you to be recognised for your achievements and your contribution, because it continues to grow. And we are all thankful and hopefully worthy disciples of you out in the world. We keep flying the flag, and for good reason. I love you, mate. Have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you real soon.
Oh, God, that's
okay?
unbelievable.
Love you, buddy. Thank you.
Oh, God bless you, mate.
Tony, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, mate. It's been
Thank
great.
you very, very much, and it's a great honour for me to be on your show.
There it is, one of the greats of the Gippsland music scene, Tony Calabro, and he joins us in the studio tonight. Another round of applause for Tony, ladies and gentlemen. So is that the first time you've seen the footage of the interview, all packaged like that?
Yes, it is. Yes.
And how does it make you feel seeing it the second time?
Very emotional. Very emotional.
Do you realise the influence you actually have had on the Gippsland music scene? Do you ever actually think about?
Well, the thing I think about is always giving 110%. That's what I think about. And I do the research and I do the practice, and just make sure that everybody that comes to me gets the very best that I've got to offer.
What's actually driven you to do that over the years?
Look, I'm absolutely obsessed by teaching, to the extent that I think I could be a much better player if I wasn't a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
But I love it, and I've got a passion for it. And I think it's also a way of helping musicians. You know, I mean, in 1981, Morwell sold more Joe Pass records than any area of Australia. Mm. You know, and I'm glad to be a part of that I'm promoting good music in all genres, not just jazz, you know. And so, yeah.
And we've seen so many successful musicians come out of your program. I've actually heard that your program is patented. Is that true?
Well, I own the copyright, yes I do. And my son Daniel, of course, is a wonderful musician, as you probably know.
Yeah.
I've given him permission to use it, but he uses it, but he's also put his own slant to it because he's very creative. Yeah, but it took me 13 years to research it. It just didn't happen overnight. Mm. You know, when I first started teaching, as we said in that interview there, I just taught kids what I knew at the time, and I would prepare lessons 10 in advance. And it wasn't until I joined a wonderful band called Noggins and Bats, where we had to back up artists like John Farnham and Colleen Hewitt and Johnny Young and all the big names of the 60s and 70s that I realised, geez, there's a lot in this. Because I remember one night, a funny story, the famous Colleen Hewitt didn't turn up for rehearsal. Mm-hmm. And 5 minutes before floor show time, she gives us all the charts. And she knew we were a bit anxious about it. And look, life teaches you a lot, and I think my teaching comes from my life experiences. And she said, look, guys, I know you're a bit nervous about this, but the focus will be on me, right? Provided we start together and finish together,
that audience will never know.
Was she
and she
right?
was so right.
Yeah.
And you know, people actually come up to me that night and said, "Geez, you guys did a great job backing her up. How do you do it?" You know, and that's what I tell my students when you play with me, because I play with them. If you make a mistake, don't tell me about it. I'll know about it.
Yeah.
But just keep going and pick it up in the next bar. And provided we start together and finish together. So that was really like part of my apprenticeship. You know, all those years, a small part of it. Yeah.
Well, we've got 47 years of teaching experience
Yes.
here. We could talk to you for hours and hours on end.
Thank you, Brett.
And look, this is the first time I've actually got to meet you in the flesh. You're someone I've heard about for years and years. Not only do you influence the people you've taught, but those people who have been out in our community that I get to play with, and those people who have gone beyond Gippsland to reach great heights in the music business all around the world, all stems from your passion. So we can't thank you enough for what you've done in the music scene in Gippsland. And I know that the team here at Live at Spectrum put a lot of time and effort to make sure that this was told exactly how it needed to be told. So it's a real special night for all of us here. So thank you,
It's a great honour for me, it really is. I've got a lot of time for you guys and what you do. I think you're doing a fantastic thing for Latrobe Valley and for Gippsland. And I have to be honest, I don't think I've seen a TV show that does it any better than what you guys do.
Well, finally we got there. Thanks, we were fishing for that, Tony. Right, now Trent, no doubt you'll be hearing from people online here.
Absolutely, and the good news is, for those that can't get enough of Tony, the full extended interview, which goes to close to nearly an hour, I think, will be up in about a week or so on our YouTube page. So that's something to look forward to. Maybe 45 minutes, actually, I've just been told. So plenty of messages coming through and lots of love for Southern Solstice. Jaden Wharton, Lydia Scionti, I want to say, or Scionti. Shanti, there we go, thank you. Clint Blenner, Hassett, Chris Park, Bradley Dean. Message from Brooke Perkins. Brooke and Mitch are proud of you boys, especially the fly trap. Nicole Kidd said never a dill pickle with the Southern Solstice. Jesse John says amazing, and Robert Leggett says killing it, boys. And Greg Hansford has sent a message through. Tony is owed much respect for the contribution he has made to the Valley's music scene over the years. Here. So keep the messages coming through. Thank you.
Yes, and by the way, the boys just giggled at the fly trap comment. I'm guessing that's very naughty, so we'll be looking into that one as well. We will be back for Live at Spectrum next month. Now, I've got to guess the date here. Is it the 3rd?
It is actually the 6th of August.
I'm way off. Okay,
Yeah.
right, we're probably 5 weeks away from the next episode. We can't wait to see you then. But to take you out tonight for the final time, please welcome back Southern Solstice.
So this last one's called On the Plateau. It's a bit of a party jam. I just want to send this one out to all our friends and family, everyone out there that supports what we do, everyone that's come and got down in the show, and every little compliment and thumbs up that we get from people. It's much appreciated. So this one's for you guys. Not one tear falls from a glass wipe's eyes. I cast my mind into dark night skies. Past my time in a half-light shine. I've been working at this now half my life and got nothing to show but some bars, tight rhymes. So I read what I flow when it's tight like mine. I'm a tight rhyme, say a good time instigator. Implement instruments, bring the flavour. Make it swing like the saber that injured Vader. Rock the cradle with hurricane winds to take ya back to a better time when we live with nature. Not mass making products to conquer it. Back then we built monuments to celebrate the solstices. This the renaissance of what culture is. My culture, friends hugging randomly. We don't have to be blood to be family. The ones uplifting, understanding me. Live open arms, yo, not underhandedly. Sam Willie get silly and bring the fun.
older. Realise you know nothing, grew wiser and older. Rise and fight when they try to control you. We're free, you're you on me, you can't own me. You move with the herd, I'd rather be lonely and true to myself than just heartless and phony. Rage once ruled me, mastered it slowly. Worlds at my feet, clouds passing below me. If only I could stick to the straight and the narrow. Live like animals, narrowly escaping the narrow. What? Turn the tide, make the hunted. My pack, how loud and we number in hundreds. People tell me I'm the nicest. Styles cut you into slices. You best sit back and listen to what I'm telling, for you find your damn self in more pieces than watermelon on a picnic. Non-stop drop till next kingdom come. Off chops like lamb left in the sun. Got Tom snares, kicks, Chucky hit the drum while Sam Willie get silly and bring the fun. We don't have to be blood to be family. In my culture, friends hugging randomly. We don't have to be blood to be family.
Thank you, thank you.
Southern Solstice on Live at Spectrum. It's great to hear Gippsland hip hop.
Can I come and stand with you, Brett? Is that all
right?
right?
Yeah, come and stand with me.
I feel a little more
Do you need a
friendly when
microphone? Have you got one on you?
No, that's okay. I think
Good on
I'm hooked up. We've had so many messages come through. I just wanted to say that Jared C. Says, getting around Southern Solstice from the bullet train in Japan, and has actually sent a photo through.
Oh, wow.
And is seriously on the bullet train in Japan. There you go. Watching Live at Spectrum. So great to see support for local talent in Gippsland, which is fantastic.
Told you we're big in Japan,
I know. Michelle and Vinny, Southern Solstice, killing it. And then we've just had a heap of messages come through. Sue Lobb Johnson, congratulations, Tony, on your tribute. David DeVent, never been taught by Tony, but he's pretty sure that most of his knowledge has come through his students, Joel Salima and Rowan Hayes.
That's
so well
patented.
done.
You can't do that.
Oh, yeah. Jennifer Hanratty, beautiful tribute. Scott DePar, great tribute. David Smithson, another great tribute. David Mumford, who's watching in Perth, one of your students as well. So much love coming through for you tonight, Tony. So well done, and well done to you guys as well for all the support you've had.
Well done to all our guests. Thank you very much to Southern Solstice, to Philip Beggs and John Taylor, who entertained us early in the evening. Thank you very much. And to the Steaming Monzas. That was a great story as well. What's that? When's the next episode?
August 6th, we will be back, and very special guests on the show, Tracy Colleen and Three Wise Monkeys.
All right, we can't wait to see you next time on Live at Spectrum. Till then, get to a gig somewhere, check out the gig guide. It's all happening, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
See you later, guys.
Good night.
Private Spectrum is filmed in front of a live studio audience.